Welcome to radio frequency classes. In today's video, I am going to explain the design and simulation of common emitter amplifier using LT-Spice tool. Initially, I will discuss the circuit and their given specification. I'll try to calculate all these values and we will see that how to get the values and their effect, and then how does this amplifier works, what is the need of this amplifier, what is the configuration, and what is the role of these resistors and the capacitors, and detailed discussion on the circuit. And after that I will explain you what is the AC analysis, and then after that I will tell what is transient analysis. So both these analysis I'll explain here, and then after calculating all these parameter we will go to the LT-Spice simulation, where I'll simulate the same circuit given here with these specifications, and we'll try to see that how this AC analysis look like, and how we can calculate the bandwidth of this amplifier, and how to get the voltage amplification and the verification of the amplification and their phase change in the transient analysis. So I'll start from here. So as you can see, the circuit, it contains these 5 resistors R1, R2. These two are the voltage divider resistor. These two resistor will control the IB base current which is flowing in this transistor. RC is for controlling the collector current, and RE is to control the emitter current. And then we have two capacitors, C in and C naught. Both are called as a coupling capacitor, which will allow only AC, okay, and they will block the DC. So from input, whatever small signal we have at the input side, it should get coupled to the base terminal, and there should not be any DC coupled at this terminal. Same way, when we are trying to get pure AC amplified output, there should not be any DC involved in this, so that will be blocked by this output capacitor. Third one is called as a bypass capacitor. So whatever extra AC flows from here, it should get coupled and get grounded. That's why we are using the bypass capacitor. So for the detailed analysis and how to select all these values and all, how to select R1 value, R2 value, C naught, C in, and common this emitter capacitor values, you can watch my next video, which will be on design and analysis of a common emitter amplifier. Okay, one more thing I will tell, why it is called as a common emitter configuration, because the emitter terminal is common between the input and the output. As you can see, the grounds, so when whatever terminal is common, that is taken as a configuration. So here we have a common emitter configuration, and voltage divider biasing, voltage is getting divided between these two resistors, and we are controlling the base current. So as you can see, for a particular given specification, we have taken a DC supply VCC of 15 volt, which will be connected here. We can select any values 10 to 15, 20 volt, whatever is available. Here just I have taken as a 15 volt. Beta of the transistor, what transistor I am going to take in the LT-Spice from their library, that has beta of approximately 294. We will also verify in the simulation whether our beta is correct or not by getting the value of IB and IC, as we know that current gain relation, where IC is nothing but beta times IB. R1, R2, RC and RE, these values are chosen in such a way so that our transistor, when we are getting the amplification, this should be in active region. In such a way those values calculated already, and here I have taken to make little short video, otherwise it will take more time. So as I told, you can watch the next video to select how to get these values R1, R2, RC and RE. Now, so if you'll see here, we can apply the Thevenin's theorem and we can find out the VTH and RTH. So for this configuration, for DC analysis case, these capacitors will be open circuit, okay, and we have only R1, R2, RC and RE. So we can directly find out here RTH, that will be nothing but R1 parallel R2. So R1 and R2 values given, we can calculate and you will get 8.24 kilo ohm RTH. And same way VTH will be nothing but VCC into R2 divided by R1 plus R2. So this will be my VTH, which is 2.63 volt. So when we have beta plus 1, there is a relation. If our resistance, this RTH, is much smaller than beta plus 1 times R, so from there we can verify, and this value is always almost less only, so we can directly take this VTH as VB only. Okay, that potential available here, that is base voltage. So 2.63 volt is the calculated value. We will try to verify in the LT Spice what value we have calculated, whether it is same or not. Another specification is given as collector current of 3.32 milliampere. From here through RC, what current goes, that is approximately 3.32. So when we have fixed this value, we can find out the IB because we know the beta of our transistor. So from there we can calculate IB. It will be approximately 11 microampere. That also we'll try to verify in the LT Spice, whether it comes to near to 11.29 microampere or not. So further, when we do the analysis and we see that whether our circuit is properly working or not, first we will do the transient analysis. In case of transient analysis, whatever input signal we are applying, which is having the minimum value like 10 to 20 millivolt we can take for a small signal, and then we see the output which is 180 degree out of phase and amplified one. So this verification we will do in the transient analysis inside LT Spice. We will also see that 180 degree out of phase our output signal is having or not with respect to input signal. And then what is the bandwidth of our amplifier and what is the gain of the amplifier, which is V naught by Vi in dB. So this we can calculate 20 log of V naught by Vi. This also I'll verify, and it will be approximately, as per my calculation, around 38 dB. We'll see that in the LT Spice simulation. Fine, now I am moving towards the LT Spice. So as we can see here, we have one transistor R1 of 47 kilo ohm, R2 of 10 kilo ohm, R3 of 2.2 kilo ohm, R4 560 ohm. Input capacitor and output capacitor I have taken standard 10 microfarad, and emitter capacitor I have taken approximately 100 microfarad. From 100 to 1000 microfarad we can take it. It will stabilize the amplification. Okay, we can get much better result and little bandwidth enhancement. By changing the values we can verify. Load resistance I have taken 1 kilo ohm, across which I am going to show you the output. VCC, as I have told, it was 15 volt. So all these things, how to get it from the circuit. So from here you can see we can select the resistor from here, capacitor from here, and from the component library we can type here NPN, and you can select the transistor. You can place it here. Once you place the transistor, after that you have to click on this and pick a new transistor. Okay, and here you select BC547B, and for this, as I told you, you can see the beta value is approximately 294.3. okay, I have taken as a 294 for this transistor. In my calculation, as I told, I have calculated the IB value and IC value based on beta of 294. So here we have defined already I have defined all these things. Okay, you can just select here and you can define the value of 15 volt. Same way for R1, all these values you can select. Now when we are selecting the voltage source here for doing the transient analysis, okay, when we are doing the transient analysis we have to go to right click here, and here we are defining, like, see this sign V offset, V amp and all those things. This is for the AC analysis purpose. Okay, when we are giving this all values, so we are not going to do anything here. Okay, we have just defined certain value and we'll go to the simulation window, edit simulation command, and we'll go to the transient analysis. So here we have given stop time 60 millisecond. Okay, start saving data after 10 millisecond, and maximum time step 100. These three values you have to define and you have to press OK. Your transient response will be defined here, and then you go to these values, and for sine you define 0, amplitude of 10 millivolt, frequency of 100 Hz. And once all these things are defined, you have to click on this run button. Once you will click on this kind of window will pop up, and now I want to see the output across this register R5. So we'll click it here. Okay, so this is our output waveform. Now input I have given as 10 millivolt. So if I'll click here, okay, we can see approximately 10 millivolt input is there, and we are getting approximately 350 millivolt of output. So 350 by 10 millivolt. So we can see the amplification in the circuit. Okay, and also we can see the waveform here. It's going down. Okay, approximately 180-degree phase shift is there. This one is for the transient verification. Other verifications are, now we can see here IB. So when you will bring a cursor here near to the transistor terminal, the black color option, you can see here this all blue, sky blue color lines are there and dark blue lines are there. So near dark blue, if you'll bring, once you'll bring it here at the down corner, you can see 11.03 microampere, and in our calculation also we have seen approximately 11.2 microampere IB was there, which is almost satisfactory. And we have calculated the VTH, which is base voltage 2.63 volt. That also we can check. We can bring this cursor here, this red color option, pen kind of nib will come. You place it here at this point. So we can see at the down 2.54 volt, which is the base voltage. And then we can see here collector current. When we want to see the collector current, we'll bring the cursor near R3, which is nothing but collector resistor, and we can see approximately 3.32 milliampere is the IC current. So with that we can verify wherever across which component we want current, we can bring this way and we can find out the currents. So from here we can see IC is 3.32 and IB is approximately 11 microampere. So with this, if we'll take the ratio for the transistor, our beta comes to be around 300, which is approximately same for the transistor. It was 294. So this way we have seen in the transient analysis. In the transient analysis, our signal is getting amplified with certain factor. Okay, and the signal output voltage is 180 degree out of phase. Now for AC analysis, we have to go again in simulate button, click on edit simulation command, and then go to AC analysis, and here we have to select the type of sweep decade. Number of points we can select approximately 100 points. Then we have to give the start frequency, because AC analysis is a plot between gain and frequency. So we'll take directly, I have taken here 1 hertz. If you won't define, it will take automatically as a 1 hertz, and here I am defining as a 10 capital G, which says 10 gigahertz, 10 into 10 to the power 9 hertz, and I'll press OK. So here you can see AC analysis is defined. Now to perform the AC analysis, you have to define here AC amplitude as 1. Okay, because when we go for AC analysis, these all other things are null and void, only it takes AC amplitude as a 1. So with respect to 1 volt input, it gives you the output. So press OK. Okay, small signal AC analysis, AC amplitude 1, press OK. So you can see here AC1 is defined. Now we'll simulate it, and you can see we are getting a graph like this. So from this graph, we can find out the gain of the amplifier and what is the phase response of the amplifier. So here you can see the input voltage is showing near 0 dB. Okay, this blue color line. So what we can do is, once you have simulated, you will click it here across the R5 resistor, you will get the output response, AC analysis response of the given amplifier. And then now I'm going to explain the frequency concept and the phase concept, where how to select the bandwidth. So for selecting the bandwidth, we have to find out the difference. So how to select the FL and FH. So I think I have clicked here for the input voltage also. So I'll just delete it. Okay, now I have only output waveform. This is bold color line is the magnitude, and this dotted line is the phase response. So you can see left hand side we have phase of the output waveform, and this side we have the gain V naught by Vi in dB. So value you can see approximately it is 38 dB, approximately 38 dB gain. Okay, so 38 dB gain means we can calculate. So for 38 dB gain, it says that, see, it is a voltage gain. okay, which is in terms of power, if we'll write, it is V square by R. So if we'll take the two powers ratio, this will be V square. So we have to take the 20 log. Okay, so for this 20 log term, whatever value we are getting as ratio V naught by Vi, okay, so we have taken the log of this, log the base 10, we have taken this. So what we can do is, whatever value we are getting, we should divide it with 20, because 20 is in multiplication factor. So divide with 20, it will be 3.8, and then you do the power of this 10 to the power 3.8. So if we'll do 10 to the power 3.8, this value is approximately, sorry, I think is okay, 38 by 20. Not, I have taken as a 10. 38 by 20, this is 1.9 divided by 2, it is 1.9. So this value should be 10 to the power 1.9. This should be my gain of the transistor, 10 to the power 1.9, approximately 79.43. okay, this is the gain of the transistor, okay, V naught by Vi, 79.43. from here we are getting. So this way we can find out the gain, and you can see in this range we have the constant 180-degree phase. Here is 180 degree. So in this line we can see. So in this region, if my amplifier is working, it gives me proper amplification. And whatever value, maximum value we are getting from here is 38. So for half power, that other two values where we are going to select the lower frequency and the higher frequency, till where we can get the response and we can say that okay, our transistor is working fine. That is also called as a half power bandwidth. So those values will be 3 dB less. So if it is 38 dB here, so 38 minus 3 is 35. So we have to see where is 35 dB. So approximately at these points we are getting 35. So here we have, okay, these responses are in decade, okay, 1, then 10, then 100, like that. So we can see here the frequency is 200 Hertz, and upper side also we can see where is 35 dB. So exactly at 35 dB we are having 116 megahertz. So 116 megahertz is my upper frequency, FH. FH is 116 megahertz and FL was 200 hertz. Both the frequencies we have taken at 35 dB point in the magnitude, which is nothing but 3 dB less than 38 dB, because my maximum value is 38 dB. So 3 dB less is half power point, and that is 35 dB. So in these two values we have taken, and the difference of these two will be the bandwidth of the amplifier. As you can see here in the response, the bandwidth, which will be nothing but gain value, which was 38 dB, and these 2 points are 35 dB. Difference of these two is the bandwidth. So this way we can find out the bandwidth of the transistor. In my next video, I will try to discuss other parameters, and if any doubt or any clarification is there, you can comment below this video. Okay, I'll try to answer the doubts. Thank you for watching the video. Kindly, if you like the content, you can share and subscribe the channel, and just tune for the next video. I'll be explaining the design and calculation of the common emitter amplifier in detail. Thank you.